Allot. To allot something means to give it to someone.
The coach allotted each team 5 minutes to prepare a strategy.
Appall. To appall means to horrify, shock, or disgust someone.
The boy was appalled when he saw the accident.
Cache. A cache is a hiding place for valuable things.
The pirates kept their jewelry in a cache hidden in a cave.
Convenience. Convenience is a state of being able to do something with little effort.
The Internet allows consumers to shop at their own convenience.
Dearth. A dearth is an amount or supply which is not large enough.
There is a dearth of money in my bank account. I can't afford a new car.
Deliberate. If you are deliberate, you do something on purpose.
Bernie made a deliberate attempt to injure Andy.
Dire. When something is dire, it is terrible and very serious.
The tornado created a dire situation for the small town.
Elapse. To elapse means to pass, as in seconds, minutes, or hours.
A few seconds must elapse before you can take another picture.
Empathy. Empathy is sharing or understanding another person's feelings.
The caring nurse had empathy for her patients.
Fanciful. When something is fanciful, it is unusual or unrealistic.
The girl had fanciful ideas about doing well in school without studying.
Gripe. To gripe means to complain constantly.
Lawrence always gripes when he has to do chores.
Grueling. When something is grueling, it is very hard to do.
The climber faced the grueling task of reaching the top of the steep mountain.
Mundane. When something is mundane, it is boring, common, or ordinary.
The man had the mundane chore of raking thousands of leaves into piles.
Opt. To opt is to make a choice, especially when deciding in favor of something.
My brother likes chocolate ice cream, but I always opt for vanilla.
Outrage. Outrage is a very strong emotion of anger or shock.
Tommy was feeling outraged when his parents said he couldn't go to the dance.
Paltry. When an amount of something is paltry, it is very small.
The poor man had a paltry sum of money.
Rectify. To rectify something means to correct it.
I quickly rectified the spelling mistakes that I had on my essay.
Resourceful. When someone is resourceful, they are good at dealing with hard situations.
After his boat sunk, Matt was resourceful enough to build a raft.
Sustenance. Sustenance is food and water needed to keep a person, animal, or plant alive.
Without the proper sustenance, the man will starve.
Tedious. When something is tedious, it is long, frustrating, and boring.
His job involved a lot of tedious typing, filing, and organizing.
Abbey. An abbey is a house or a group of houses where monks or nuns live.
When the monk returned to the abbey, he went immediately to his bedroom.
Abundant. If something is abundant, then it is available in large quantities.
Cakes, cookies, and candy were so abundant that the child was very happy.
Adjoin. To adjoin something means to be next to or attached to something else.
She can listen to her brother's conversations because her room adjoins his.
Ample. If something is ample, then it is enough or more than enough.
There was an ample supply of oats to feed the horses.
Arid. If a place is arid, then it is hot and dry and gets very little or no rain.
Not many plants grow in the arid desert.
Cathedral. A cathedral is an important and often large and beautifully built church.
The large cathedral is full of people on Sunday mornings.
Deprive. To deprive someone of something means to not let them have it.
Because the child was bad, she was deprived of her dessert after dinner.
Drought. A drought is a long period of time in which little or no rain falls.
After 3 months of drought, the vegetation and trees started dying.
Eligible. If someone is eligible, then they are permitted to do or have something.
Only people who bought tickets were eligible to win a prize.
Fast. To fast means to go without food or drink for a period of time.
In her religion, they fast for 5 days and then have a big feast.
Grumble. To grumble means to complain.
He grumbled about having to work late on Friday.
Inland. If someone goes inland, they travel into the center of a country or land.
The river curved inland near the campground.
Moisture. Moisture is small drops of water in the air or on a surface.
If you breathe on a window, moisture from your breath collects on the glass.
Nonetheless. If something happens nonetheless, then it occurs despite some other thing.
She tried to keep the dog out of the mud, but it got dirty nonetheless.
Oath. An oath is a formal, often public promise.
Judges must take an oath to be fair to everyone in court.
Prairie. A prairie is a large, flat area of grassland.
The prairie was perfect for a farm because there were hills and trees.
Ragged. If something is ragged, then it is old, torn, and falling apart.
They could see his toes through the holes in his ragged shoes.
Rugged. If an area of land is rugged, then it is rocky and difficult to travel through.
Their car couldn't make it far along the rugged roads.
Scarce. If something is scarce, then it is in a very small amount.
When gasoline was scarce, we rode our bikes instead of driving to school.
Speculate. To speculate means to guess about something.
My sister looked at the sky and speculated that it would rain tomorrow.
Analytic. If something is analytic, it is related to logic and reasoning.
The analytic article criticized the new plan and presented one of its own.
Assert. To assert a fact or belief means to state it with confidence.
He asserted that his mother's cooking was better than his best friend's.
Bachelor. A bachelor is an unmarried man.
Since he was a bachelor, Jason did his shopping by himself.
Calculus. Calculus is an advanced type of mathematics.
By using calculus, scientists determine small changes in the star's brightness.
Celestial. If something is celestial, it is related to the sky or to outer space.
Comets are celestial objects that are rarely seen.
Cognitive. If something is cognitive, it is related to learning and knowing things.
After her physical examination, her cognitive strengths were tested.
Collision. A collision is the act of two things hitting into each other.
The collision between the two cars created a loud noise.
Competent. If someone is competent, they are able to think or act successfully.
Competent employees are much better than unknowledgeable ones.
Diploma. A diploma is a certificate proving that someone has completed their studies.
After 4 years of college, Mary finally had a diploma.
Excel. To excel at a subject or activity means to be very good at it.
Jenny excels at playing the piano.
Geology. Geology is the study of the Earth's natural structures and how they change.
Because he studied geology, he knew how the mountains were formed.
Harness. To harness something means to control and use it, usually to make energy.
The sails harness the wind in order to move.
Intellect. An intellect is a person's ability to understand things easily.
She was known for her quick and strong intellect as well as her beauty.
Keen. If someone is keen, they are intelligent.
Only the keenest of students could have solved that math problem.
Mythology. Mythology is a group of stories from a particular country or region.
Egyptian mythology was the basis for a religion.
Physiology. Physiology is the study of the various parts of living things.
His work in physiology helped him understand how the human body works.
Radioactive. If something is radioactive, then it lets out or is related to radiation.
Radioactive materials can be very bad for anyone's health.
Relativity. Relativity is a set of ideas about time and space developed by Albert Einstein.
Relativity teaches that light travels at the same speed in the universe.
Sociology. Sociology is the study of human society, its organizations and problems.
Sociology teaches that people's problems are a result of their society.
Theoretical. If something is theoretical, it is based on theory rather than experience.
His conclusion was only theoretical and not meant to be publicized.
Administrator. An administrator is a person who controls a business, company, or organization.
Everyone in the store did whatever the administrator asked them to do.
Affluent. If someone is affluent, they are wealthy.
People in the city are usually more affluent than people in the country.
Audit. To audit means to inspect financial records from a person or business.
The government usually audits companies that report lower than usual incomes.
Automate. To automate a company means to install machines or computers to do the work.
When the bank automated, it started installing ATM machines.
Bribe. To bribe someone means to illegally persuade them for a favor with money.
The judge was bribed so that she would set the suspect free.
Corrupt. If someone is corrupt, they break the law for money or fame.
The corrupt policeman didn't arrest the man because he gave them money.
Dispose. To dispose of something means to get rid of it.
He disposed of the can by throwing it into the recycle bin.
Headquarters. A headquarters is a building where the bosses of a company work.
He drove the long route to headquarters because it was a nice day.
Incentive. An incentive is what makes a person want to do something.
The chance of winning a prize was incentive to get people to play the game.
Infrastructure. An infrastructure is a collection of services needed to run a society or business.
Power lines are important parts of a city's infrastructure.
Legislate. To legislate means to make laws.
Senators have to legislate fairly so most people will enjoy the benefits.
Legitimate. If something is legitimate, then it is acceptable according to the law.
She found a legitimate plan to raise extra funds for her vacation.
Manipulate. To manipulate something means to skillfully or unfairly control or affect it.
The doctor manipulated the data to make it look like the cure was working.
Merchandise. Merchandise is goods ready to be purchased or sold.
The store added more merchandise because there were more shoppers.
Retail. Retail is the activity of selling goods to the public, often for personal use.
Though cheap to make, once a t-shirt reaches retail, it costs 10 times as much.
Revenue. Revenue is the income made by a company.
The new products really increase the business's monthly revenue.
Rubbish. Rubbish is trash or waste.
The floor around the garbage can was covered with all kinds of rubbish.
Subsidy. A subsidy is money given by the government to companies to assist them.
The official gave the company a subsidy so it could open 2 new factories.
Transaction. A transaction is an act of buying or selling something.
Because the clerk was new at the job, the simple transaction took a long time.
Violate. To violate a law, rule, or agreement means to break it.
I was given a ticket because the policeman said I violated the speed limit.
Assess. To assess something means to judge the structure, purpose, or quality of it.
She assessed the condition of the toy car before buying it.
Astonish. To astonish someone means to greatly surprise them.
The amount of people that came to her party astonished her.
Commence. To commence something means to begin it.
His speech commenced with a thank you to all who had helped him succeed.
Essence. The essence of something is its important qualities or basic characteristics.
The essence of the argument was that both sides felt they had lost money.
Extract. To extract something means to remove it.
The dentist extracted the woman's damaged tooth and put in a fake one.
Fabulous. If something is fabulous, it is extremely good.
This strawberry is the best I've ever had. It's fabulous.
Haste. Haste is speed in movement or action.
In order to get to the meeting in time, he proceeds with haste.
Impulse. An impulse is a sudden, thoughtless urge to do something.
Because of the scary noise, she had an impulse to run somewhere and hide.
Ladder. Ladder describes something last in a series, or the second choice of two things.
In the latter minutes of the game, the visitors scored the winning goal.
Molecule. A molecule is the smallest basic unit that makes up a physical substance.
A tiny drop of water is made up of thousands of molecules of water.
Ongoing. If something is ongoing, then it is still happening or still growing.
The development of plants is ongoing because it takes time for them to mature.
Pharmaceutical. If something is pharmaceutical, then it is related to the development of drugs.
Pharmaceutical companies discover new cures to illnesses all the time.
Precise. If someone is precise, then they are exact and careful about their work.
The builder was very precise about where he placed the nails.
Proximity. Proximity is closeness in time, space, or relationships.
All the trees in the proximity of the beach had been cut down.
Publicity. Publicity is public attention given to someone or something by the media.
She received a lot of publicity after her performance in the film.
Remedy. A remedy is a cure for a disease, argument, or problem.
A good remedy for a headache is an aspirin and a glass of water.
Significance. The significance of something is the quality that makes it important.
The significance of the snowy weather was that we didn't have to go to school.
Subsequent. If something is subsequent, then it comes after something else in time.
The flood and the subsequent rescue of those caught in the flood were on TV.
Synthetic. If something is synthetic, then it is made to be like something natural.
Clothing made out of synthetic fabrics is very effective at keeping people warm.
Terminal. If something is terminal, then it causes or results in death.
Since his condition was not terminal, he felt a great sense of relief.